down there is so far, you're to the point of no return. I mean, it's either straight or it's not. You're not going to be able to fix it. Take the hydraulics off, lift it up. Good afternoon, guys. This is Jared from Triple D Farms. Got a video for you for our Danuser hammer. This is the SM40 model. I'll show it to you. So this is the hammer from Danuser. It is the model SM40 has the grapple attachment, which you can't see in this picture very good, but the grapple is actually down under there. It's sitting on the grapple, and then it has tilt feature. And I bought this in the fall when I bought the skid steer, September, and I'm just finally, today's April 20th, after school, I'm just finally getting a chance to use it. It works pretty good. I put in about 10 posts. I got a couple to go back and fix, and then I got a couple more to put in. So it came with a 12-volt hookup that runs off this solenoid, and the original one came and it runs off the 12-volt cigarette lighter, and then you have a switch. And I did not like that, and I'm not even sure if the switch was even marked which way it was supposed to be for which operation. That switches it back from grapple mode to tilt mode. And I don't think it even had a switch. So it had a box. Then you had to run the cord through the window and plug it into the cigarette lighter inside. Didn't like that. So I talked to Danuser, and they said, hey, you can get one from, I think it's Ogden or Skid Steer Genius. So I went with the Skid Steer Genius one because the Ogden one, I think, was going to go from Bobcat 12 pin to Ogden for the Danuser. So I would have had to buy the Danuser Bobcat 12 pin adapter in order to be able to use it. If I remember correctly, that's what it was. So the Skid Steer Genius one allows you to go from Bobcat 7 pin to the 2-pin Deutsch, which is what the Danuser uses. So it has this box. They call it I think it's called a Cam Pro. So it plugs into your 7-pin adapter right here, and then it runs off the box. And it has two lights. This one's green, and this one's red. And depending on what light is on, that's what channel you're on for what function. But once you get it hooked up and you mess with it a little bit, you figure it out pretty quick. This one is hooked up on the green and red. It came with a two-channel thing, so you could run another solenoid with that one. And then inside the cab, it runs off the left joystick. You push the top of the cylinder button on your left joystick. If you push the top of the cylinder button right here, that's what switches it back and forth. And if you pay attention, you can actually, when you push it to go back to grapple, you'll actually can see the hydraulic lines jump, and the grapple will actually jump a little bit. So the way the pounder works is it works off of the auxiliary, your toggle or your trigger, either one, toggle or your trigger, either one. But the way the pounder works is that once it has hydraulic flow, it's ready to pound no matter what. So you want to be able to make sure that you're out of tilt mode back into grapple mode so the pounder can pound. You want to tilt while you're pounding. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Obviously, you want to really careful tilt and get your post lined up and all that, then go back to grapple, so then it pounds. So it does take a little bit of getting used to. The grapple feature is pretty cool because you can pick up the post, and then you can pick it up and it tips and it lines up, and you set your post. Right now the ground's really soft. I could push it down in the ground probably a foot and a half without even pounding. And then I just have my post marked. So this is my line. So that's a 7-foot post, and I've got it marked to go in 3.5 feet. That's just a post that goes in the line. It's not, all it does is hold the wire up, with your insulators or whatever. But the grapple works really well. So the only problem with the grapple is you have to have, when you pick up your post, you grab your post, grabs it right around the post, and 4 inches away from the end or less, could be less, but no more than 4 inches, and that allows the post to swing. So it's up, like the post will be like this when you pick it up, and that allows it to swing. So the top of the post swings like this, and it will line up underneath the hammer. If it's too far, it goes all the way across and it can't swing down. And I don't think it can go too little, actually. It still will work, because then you just set this down on your post before you start pounding. But you need to get the post vertical. So that took a little bit of getting used to. I actually had to go back and read the thing. I couldn't get that to work. And I was picking them up, and they were more like 6 inches, and they weren't rotating down. I thought it was the posts were not heavy enough, because there's a spring that returns the grapple. So the post is actually swinging down. It's pulling that spring. But that wasn't the case at all. It was just that I had them too far, and it was kind of like wedging, so it wasn't allowing it to swing down. This one has also got the heavy weight in it, so it's got the extra added weight. I think is it 300 pounds more? I think it's 300 pounds more. It's actually lead shot loaded with lead shot. There's a big case in there. That thing's loaded with lead shot. Whoever greased this used a lot of grease. I mean, that is ridiculous. You can smell this thing from 100 feet away. Look at all the grease that's sitting on top of that weight. And that's how it works, is the chain picks it up and then drops it, picks it up and drops it. I think it's it's either a 35-inch stroke or a 39-inch stroke. I think it's 39-inch stroke, 35 strokes a minute or something like that. But it runs off of a hydraulic motor that runs the chain. This one here runs the chain up and down. So this always has hydraulic to it. And that's, so these two go to the motor, and then these, you can see where the rest of them go. These two go to the grapple, or the two smaller ones go to the grapple, and the two bigger ones go to the tilt cylinder. But the servo changes, well, these actually, yeah. The bigger, I'm not sure what I guess the bigger ones go down. Must be down the bottom. These go down and go to the machine, come back out and go to the machine, and then these go to the grapple, and these go to the motor up here, and then from the solenoid they come out 2 different ways there. So it's pretty, I would say I don't really know a whole lot about it, but if I was going to make any changes, I might, if I get the money and I have some time, I might go to Bobcat and be like, hey, give me a machine that runs two solenoids or whatever, where you can run 3 separate operations, and then just buy the harness and the solenoids for that and change this all to that. So then the buttons in here would just, one button would be tilt, one would be grapple, and one would be pound. That would be like the ideal way to do it. But it does work this way fine. It's just once in a while, if you hit that tilt when you didn't mean to, you're going to tilt it over. And the problem is that when you tilt it when you don't want to, it's full flow to it. So it just tilts way over 20 degrees one way or the other. And that's going to, as soon as, if it's touching the post, it's going to hit it. So you're going to knock your post, sideways or whatever. But pretty happy with it. It's an expensive one, but for me to be able to come out and pound post by myself, not having to hire anybody to help me, not having to babysit somebody else with their pounder, it's huge, because I've got like a couple hours after school today. I've got a couple posts that I need to fix, and I'm just going to work by myself and pull them out and fix them, and we'll have it done. They'll be ready to run wire. We ran one wire. I ran one wire and tightened it, and then I marked them off 7 paces with paint. You can see this post right here is very perfect. And so you see the next one's leaning a little bit, and then the next 2 are leaning a little bit more. And what I think the problem is I had it on self-leveling, and I was coming down the hill, and the self-leveling, it pulled the loader back in closer to me. So I don't want it on self-leveling, I just want it on float. And you can see this one's pretty good, and then the next one's pretty good, and then the next 2 are kind of, there's 2 more down there, kind of wonky a little bit, but we're just going to pull them out and fix them, no big deal. I have my chain right there, my choker chain, and I just hook it on the, I'm not sure what this is for. I can't remember what this is for right here. I just hook them right in there. I think that's actually what it's for, is pull a post out with. But anyway, we'll see if we can get this thing going and pound a few posts. We'll get a couple cameras going. We'll see what happens. But this is the Danuser hammer SM40, and I'm running on my Bobcat T770. We'll be back. Alright guys, well, you are in the skid steer. So we are in the skid steer, we got the post pounder on, and we are looking to just see if we can pick up a post and pound it in, then mess with this skid steer for a couple days pounding. I think I finally got all the controls figured out. So I don't know, it's how good this video is going to be, but it's a video. It is cold. It's like 35 degrees out. I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to pick the post up and move the post and pound the post without the skid steer spinning, because it's really wet. 35 degrees out. It rained most of the night, at least quite a bit of the night, so we're going to tear up some grass for sure. But hey, if we tear up some prickers or some weeds, I guess that's alright, right? So I pounded in about half a dozen posts, kind of getting used to it. This is my Danuser hammer the SM40. Stickers on the other side. Can't remember if it's SM40 or SP40. I think it's SM40. So right here's the hardest part, is trying to figure out, which I know the camera is not showing you anything as far as this goes, but trying to pick up the post is the hardest part of the whole thing. Just can't tell if I got a bunch of grass. Missed the post. There we go. So the only way I know to do it is tilt it forward, and then get the post, and so we're having a hard time with yesterday is I can't remember what does what. Get the post. The hard part is that you can't see the post when you get down that far. Like I can't see the post anymore. So what I'm watching for is the post to move. And I'm just looking for the post to wiggle. like that. I can see the post moving. And then now I know I got it. Now, the problem is, if you look at that post, I got it, right? I got it, but I got it too far. So this is the hard part. The post, which I know we probably can't see, but so the post is not going down straight. Well, why is that looking like that's leaking hydraulic fluid? Where is that coming from? Nice. I don't know. I thought that was hydraulic fluid. I don't know what that was. Just water. Looked like it was green, but I don't seem to be leaking right at the moment, so I don't know what that means. We'll give her another try. It might be a spot or be water coming out of it. But the hard part is that you tilt it forward and do all this stuff, and you can't see it. But they say 4 inches. Maybe I could do it this way. Maybe I can see it. So if you pick it up too far, there we go, I got it. So that's the first time I picked a post up by myself. So if you pick it up too far, so if you're picking up, I don't know if that's water or what that is. Well, it looks like it's hydraulic fluid to me. God darn. It's gushing out of somewhere. Yep. God dang. Where is that coming from? We might have more problems than what I thought. Oh, I don't know. Sure look like hydraulic fluid. God damn, what the fuck did that come from? Well, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but so there's a little bit of a leak on the grapple. So once it, when it's grabbing the post, it is leaking, and it's just a just the fitting. So, which I guess is not surprising. It's kind of a weird, like, I don't know if that, they got them running horizontal. I don't know if they should be more vertical. Kind of wondering who put it together. They, kind of a weird, to me it's kind of a weird angle. So I think I might turn it up a little bit. It's like half a, not even half a turn, just leaking out under pressure. I think I just need a little bit of slack in the, they mounted them horizontal and I just turned it up a little bit and tightened it in there. So we'll see if this works again. So anyway, that was worth making the video. I hope I didn't swear. I don't think I did. Worth making the video because that was the first time that so I've been pounding posts and I've been having a hard time getting them to tilt properly so that you can actually pound with them. And so I went home last night and I'm like, I'm missing something. Like I read all the instructions and did all that, you know. I'm like, I'm missing something. So then I finally saw where it said 4 inches. Well, I was picking up too much of the post and then it was stuck underneath the pounder and the post would not rotate under. And I was thinking, well, well, the posts aren't heavy enough. It has a spring that the spring gets the when you let go of the post, the spring gets the grapple out of the way. And I thought, well, the spring could be adjusted, maybe. So I tried to find out about the spring, a little bit about the spring. I thought, well, I don't know if it says, you know, sometimes on machinery that has springs, it'll say, hey, that spring is a, you know, 25 pound spring or whatever, you know, different. I'm not even sure how they rate them, but I think I've seen that before where they say how many pounds it takes to make the spring work. So you pick it up like that, 4 inches sticking out, and it tilts and it goes right underneath it, pretty much, right? Pretty good. So the problem that you have is if it doesn't swing under there, then you have to start it. You have to figure out how to get it to start without messing it all up. So you can see where it's definitely more than 4 inches. So I'm just going to try again. I'm going to let it drop. And of course got to move over now. But tearing it all up because it's just muddier than mud. But I just wanted to see if I could do it, pick it up how it's supposed to. Of course the grapple's digging right into the mud too. So 4 inches, got to tip it way away from you. Because by yourself, you got to get that right, or you can't pound because the bottom of the post won't do what you want it to. Now I've got too much again, I think. Yep, almost exactly the same. So that is the trick to the whole thing, is just being able to pick them up. So I keep dropping it farther away from myself. Being able to pick them up and maneuver without, you know, my thing is, I don't want a second person. I don't want to have to ask somebody, hey, you gonna come help build fence? You know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hire somebody to come build fence. I don't want to hire somebody to help me. I don't want to, you know, I want to build fence when I want to build fence. And I don't want to have to get an extra person to help me, and I don't want to have to hire somebody to come stand and watch me and help me. See, that's not, now that's kind of different, right? So I got it, but I don't have the whole post, so it's outside the hammer just a little bit. So I mean, this is going to take a little bit of learning. I figure it's going to take, you know, 100 posts before you really get where you're like, hey, I can do that. Problem is, it keeps bouncing way away from me. But so that was a good pick, but I didn't have the grapple down all the way. So we're tearing stuff up out here for sure, but I'm not gonna wait for it to get dry. So if you pick it up correctly, it's gonna rotate right under there, and it's gonna be perfect. And it's going to be able to stand up straight underneath, and you're not going to have to so the balance is right now, it's like, well, okay, got to see if I'm down far enough, and then you got to make sure the grapple goes down far enough to get around the whole post. And that should be pretty good right there. That looks real good. So then it's going to rotate, and it's under there exactly how it's supposed to be. And then when I set it down, I'll be able to pound. So then I'm going to start to pound. So go up here, and I don't see that post right there I broke, so I'm not sure if I hit a rock or what. So I'm going to move a little bit to the side of it, hopefully, and pound. Got my one strand of wire run out here. I don't know if I want to use it. Maybe I got it farther away from the hole than that. Just trying to think if I want to go right or left or up or down or whatever. I'm going to move over a little bit. Well, it's wet right here. So we'll see. You guys might get to see me mess up, which I don't really, you know. Yeah, I'm still learning. It's not an easy thing to do to get to learn it. But the controls, the skid steer Genius control is definitely like huge thing to have, because it uses the buttons in here. You don't have to have the thing run through the window. And we just try to turn a little bit, which is going to be harder than it looks. I think I got to back up a little bit. Oh. Put it down a little bit more, I guess. And what I've noticed is it's so soft right now, I can push it right down in some. Look at that. Going right down in by just pushing it. It's really not going to take too much hitting. I'm trying to get where I look plumb. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Plumb and everything. Let go of the thing, and then we're going to try to put this in float. see if the top's going to move or not. Move just a little bit. So now I need to tilt my pounder. So I'm going to push my button. This is where it's going to get hard because this is hard to do. But I don't want it to pound while I'm tilting. So then when you get it tilted how you want it, then you want to push the button and make sure that you're on grapple. So that's, see how I opened the grapple? And now I'm going to try to get back on it. And the hard part, I'm trying to do the float. So then I'm going to push float. Hopefully it's going to float now. super, super wet outside. And got that one post that I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do anything with it today. But we'll take a look at the post here real quick. I'll show you my... Oh, shoot. I guess that was up when it wasn't supposed to be. Anyway, hopefully that... I didn't have the thing up, so it came down. I had to read that more in the instructions. Something about the weight should be off it. I haven't quite figured out what they're talking about. So this one's leaning towards me a little bit. Not bad. This one over here is actually pretty good. I do this one today. This one's actually pretty good. So it looks like it's pretty well plumbed. And then I have one to finish in here. So I guess that's my problem, is they're both leaning towards me. So we'll probably end up redoing them. But I think because I'm coming downhill, look at that water in that hole. I think because I'm coming downhill, you know, the loader's like this, and coming downhill, it's coming back towards me, even in float. You know, I think it's designed to float with the machine, so if the machine's tilted, that makes sense. So maybe not floating would be the solution to that. But another way to do it, which might be easier, would be to go this way, go with the fence, and then tilt them up or up or downhill. But then I'd be driving all over the fence. But if I had a line, like if you painted a line, that would probably be the better way to do it. If you painted a line and just drove down the line, pounding them in every so often. That one must have hit a rock too. So we're beating the crap out of these posts, that's for sure. But gotta get used to it somehow, right? So it is the Danuser Hammer SM40 with a grapple and tilt attachment. And everything you saw today, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just user getting used to it. I'm a beginner. You know, that's the way it's going to be for a while until I get used to it. I figure, I mean, this will give me, I think there's 12 posts. I figure I got to pound at least 100 before I'll be any good at it. So when I get the level and stick on the hammer, as long as I can figure out a place to put it where I can see it, then obviously that would help. You know, the plumb bob for the chain, it does help, but it does move. So you gotta be paying attention and looking at it. And even it's a little bit hard to see at times too, because it hangs down the bottom. But anyway, thanks for watching. And please stay tuned for more from Triple D Farms, Triple D Maple, Triple D Cabins. I'm Jared. Have a great day.